Welcome back to Perspective X, news by Gen X for Gen X. And a reminder, if you're offended, you have only yourself to blame. So, yesterday's show was interesting. It continues today. Let me go ahead and set this up. We'll get rid of that and bring this up. Apparently, let me stop this here and we'll put this back to the beginning. Apparently, the Mexican government is blaming the U.S. for the cartels. All of the gunfire is from the cartels. Now, if you remember yesterday, I did point out that a lot of those weapons, grenade launchers specifically, you can't just walk into a gun shop or your local bass fishing store and buy one. Those are NFA items. Yeah, they're explosive devices specifically. It takes a special license. And those are still grenade launchers, explosives, still have a tax stamp. It's only $200, but still, you can't just walk into a store and buy one. But let's listen to what this guy thinks he has to say. Yes, it's in Spanish. Okay, fine.
Ya se ha mencionado aquí hablando de la estrategia general. Se han asegurado en lo que va de la administración 23,000 armas. De esas 23,000 armas, el 80% son de origen norteamericano. Entonces, en este caso, más o menos es la misma proporción.
Correcto.
All right, so he wants to tell you that out of 23,000 weapons they've collected from the cartels, 80% are U.S. made. Okay. That shouldn't surprise anyone. It's much easier to import American weapons than, say, German, Italian, French. I mean, they have to come a whole lot farther, and they're certainly the German ones are a lot more expensive. So, yeah, the fact that they're American weapons shouldn't surprise anyone. I would be surprised if there weren't a bunch of AKs in there. In fact, I'm fairly certain that in yesterday's video I saw a couple of AKs. Because, well, let's face it, when the Soviet Union rapid unscheduled disassembly, when that happened to the Soviet Union, a bunch of their stuff, including nukes, ended up in places they shouldn't have been. So, yeah, AKs and ARs are going to be your most common weapons in anything like this. Certainly, criminals are going to buy what they can find, and the cheapest ones they can get. And so, yeah, it doesn't surprise me that a lot of these are American weapons. But the other thing to point out is that a lot of these weapons wouldn't be in Mexico if it wasn't for President Obama, who decided with his ATF, and I say his ATF because he was the one who appointed the then. It wasn't. I don't think they had a national director at the time, but he was a temporary director, and instructed him to allow straw purchases along the Mexican border of whatever weapons they wanted, with the intent of tracking them. Of course, as soon as they crossed the border, America lost track of them. Lost track. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, and here's another thing that America has done bad. Another bad thing America has done. I thought you'd enjoy that. Just for the pure humor of it. And the ridiculousness of it. This is not gonna fly. Speaking of ridiculous, apparently a bunch of Democrats are going to boycott President Trump's State of the Union address. Let's listen in.
No, 100%, and that's exactly what President Trump can do, because this is the message that Republicans are going to take out to the midterms. The notes in which he echoes tonight will be exactly what you hear Republicans say on the stump. And you keep in mind, this is a president that's going to be out there. It's almost as if he was running for election. They're going to have him on the campaign trail. I'm expecting the president to deliver in a way in which the American people expect him to, presidentially, and tell them what's in it for them. What has he done over the course of a year? And I can tell you, he's accomplished a great deal cleaning up the mess of Joe Biden's presidency, but there's much more to be done. No, 100%.
So, yeah. Okay. And, of course, it's people you've never seen, never heard of.
One lie after.
People have asked whether or not I'm going to attend the State of the Union address. I'd rather stick needles in my eyeballs. This man is a pathological liar, and I'm not going to dignify this speech by sitting there after he tells one lie after another. These are not normal times. This is not business as usual, but I will be there to call it his bullshit on social media, so stay tuned. People have asked whether or not...
Okay, so yeah, this guy isn't going to attend. Anybody know who he is? I have no idea. Let's see here. It says it's Representative Jim McGovern. Wait, what? Didn't McGovern run for president back in 72? Something's wrong. Yeah. This is, again, people no one has ever heard of, including the people who elected them. Do Democrats know who their representatives are? No. With the exception of people like AOC and Nancy Pelosi. But I would be willing to bet that a lot of the people who are in those districts, if they know AOC or Pelosi is their representative, they don't know anything about them. They only know that they're a Democrat. As Pelosi has pointed out, both her seat and AOC's seat, doesn't matter who's running, as long as they got a D behind the name. A glass of water could get elected as long as it was stated that it was a Democrat. That's the way Democrats are. That's the way they vote. Vote blue no matter who. Okay. Well, that gave us Biden. Anybody remember that disaster? Walking disaster. So, I'm looking at this and going, okay, so a bunch of Democrats have decided, for whatever reason, that they're not going to attend the State of the Union address. Good for them. I give them a golf clap. I would really appreciate it if none of them attended. That would be really good. That would be fantastic. That would be just the ultimate. Because then we would have, for the first time in my lifetime, a presidential State of the Union address where nobody had an objection. Everybody thought it was a great speech and everybody was there and appreciative. But I don't think that's going to happen. It would be nice, but I don't think that's going to happen. So, yeah. We'll see. We'll see. The speeches afterward will be interesting. The Democrat rebuttal will be, they've got no plan. They've got no policy. They have nothing. They're just going to say, Orange Man bad. That is going to be their entire rebuttal. Orange Man bad. You know how much money he's cost you with his tariffs? Not a cent. I haven't bought anything that's been tariffed. If you... It's not like an income tax, guys, where you get taxed no matter what. You have to actually buy the stuff that has a tariff on it. And, the fact that the Supreme Court struck down emergency tariffs. Okay, he can't just claim an emergency and throw a tariff up. He has to go through the process. Yeah, that takes time. Okay, so that's what he's going to do now. He's going to put up a bunch of tariffs, but he's going to go through the process, the legal process set up by Congress, and he'll do it that way. Okay. I don't see a problem with this. It's just, these people, and the sad part is these people think they're making a difference. They really do. Anyway, for my last story today, it's going to be a short day, but this one I found really funny. I'm seeing this all over X today. Apparently, everyone is upset with Kash Patel celebrating with the U.S. men's hockey team their victory, the first time since the Miracle on Ice in 1980. Now, we all remember the Miracle on Ice in 1980. We were all there. We were all watching it on our TVs, in our living rooms, with our families. We all saw it. This is something to celebrate. And the fact that Kash Patel, head of the FBI, is there, I have no problem with this. Did he use a government jet to get there? I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. But the fact he's there does not bother me. But all of these people have their, so when we were in high school, we had a term for this. We called them manginas. All these liberal men have their manginas twisted up in a knot because Kash Patel decided to go to the hockey game and is celebrating with the men's hockey team. Well, let's see what this guy has to say.
All right, we need to talk about Team USA men's
we don't.
hockey being vilified after winning their gold medal and partying with Kash Patel and speaking on the phone with President Donald Trump. First up, we got the footage of Kash Patel.
He's enjoying himself. I don't see a problem with this.
And then we had the boys all huddled up together around a FaceTime with Donald Trump where he invited them to the White House and then cracked a joke about how he has to invite the women as well or he'll get impeached.
Which is probably true. They're going to try and impeach him anyway. But yeah, I mean, okay. I find this funny.
One minute. 1 minute. And by the way, your goalie played not bad. Howie, say hi. Howie, say hi to him. How you doing, Don? What would really be cool, and we'll do the White House the next day, we'll just have some fun. We have medals for you guys. And we have to, I must tell you, we're going to have to bring the women's team. You do know that.
It's called fairness. Something that Democrats don't understand. Fairness. You know, the guys won. Okay, they're going to be at the White House. We got to bring the women's team. Sure, why not?
I do believe I probably would be impeached, okay?
And that's it, folks. That's all it took for these guys to go from heroes to villains like that. Now it is fuck everyone on this team and you can go rot in hell. Now let's quickly recap how this transformation happened. This team literally gave their blood, sweat, and tears to win a gold medal for this country.
And you are going to shit on that, aren't you?
To put on an absolute show and entertain all of America and then give them something to be proud about. And I understand that a lot of the women and the people who are hating on them right now probably are not sports fans and they don't understand the value in that, but there is value in that in America. It's a big deal that those guys went and did that for the country. Then immediately after that, they celebrate by honoring the memory of their late great teammate, Johnny Gaudreau. They celebrate with his kids on the ice, they honor his wife, Meredith, and they share the spotlight and their moment with his wife and children. And then Jack Hughes said,
so they're doing everything right. This guy can't complain about anything. Yet.
The person he thought of immediately after his golden goal was his female counterpart, Megan Keller, who did the same thing for the women's team. Now, I don't know about you, but you add that all up and these guys seem like heroes to me. This is hockey in a nutshell, the most
But you're going to shit all over them, aren't you?
selfless guys in all of sport. And then that all immediately, all of it gets completely erased because they party with this guy.
Why does it get erased? Why are you upset that they're partying with the director of the FBI? What is the problem here? I don't see it. I don't understand. Why are you so upset?
And they talk to Donald Trump. Now, objectively speaking, partying with Kash Patel after you win your gold medal is the lamest shit I've ever seen. Kash Patel is the biggest fucking loser in the world.
All right, so you don't like Kash Patel. Not surprising. You're a liberal. You're a progressive. You are a low testosterone progressive. All right, fine.
He's a literal narc. If you feel the need to praise the director of the FBI because he's tangentially related to the political deity that you worship, you're a big fucking loser too.
Wait. So you're upset that he's a narc. Well, yes, he's director of the FBI. What did you expect? I don't know what he means about this deity that he's talking about. Obviously, this guy's never been to church a day in his life. He doesn't know what a deity is. Okay, fine.
And then the phone call with Donald Trump, I get it. Donald Trump is highly problematic and highly polarizing, and there are people out there that if you associate with him in any way, shape, or form, you are then persona non grata.
You mean people like you?
This is something every team goes through. If you win a championship, you get invited to the White House. Do you go or do you not go? If you don't go, you're disrespecting America. If you do go, you're disrespecting the people who don't like Donald Trump in America. So
we don't care about the people who don't like Donald Trump. They can go fuck themselves. I don't care.
Very difficult spot. And one that I don't think should be the entire premise for judging whether a group of people are good or bad.
Yet you will. You just did. This entire 5-minute video is about you judging them because they're going to the White House.
And I understand that there are people out there who actually want Team USA in the middle of their gold medal celebration that just happened like 15 seconds ago to be like, actually, we need to remove him from the locker room. I will not be celebrating with him because of his political affiliations, and I don't want to ruffle the feathers of people out there who might be disrespecting.
Why would they be disrespectful? It's not like he's a white guy. He's not an old white guy, is he? Huh. What possible problem would the left have with him, with this immigrant man?
That's just not how the world works. But if you're one of these people out here being like, fuck you, rot in hell because you feel like they disrespected the women's team and disrespected America, I ask you genuinely, do you really feel like these guys are the problem with the country today? These guys, everything I just described, what they did for this, the Gaudreau family, their team, America, how they act, who they talk about, how they carry themselves. You really think these guys are the problem because they had a beer with Kash Patel?
Apparently you do.
And they talked to Donald Trump on the phone? Because I think that we tend to focus on the wrong people in these arguments. Getting upset with comedians over jokes or athletes in these situations, like these guys are not the root of the problem in America.
Yet you will make them the root of the problem in America, won't you?
So, if you're one of these people saying rotten hell, I challenge you to think about if it was your brother or your father or someone, a man that you loved and respected, who won the gold medal, and then they drank with Kash Patel and they got on the phone with Donald Trump. Do you think that that should erase all other personality traits and everything else about the way they carry themselves, and that they deserve to have people in America saying, fuck you, die, rotten hell?
I'm just going to point out that when you point one finger at someone, you've got 3 more pointing back at you. So, yeah, maybe you should take your own advice.
Same way that I thought to myself, if my daughter came to me and said, hey, why was Donald Trump and those boys like kind of laughing about the girls going to the White House? I would say, fuck those boys. Boys suck. They're stupid. You're better than them. Don't listen to them. But I wouldn't write them off entirely. I would not decide that that is the totality of who they are as people.
Yet you seem to be doing exactly that.
Listen, at the end of the day, I get it. There are a lot of women out there who hate men, and there are a lot of men that hate women. And everybody sees...
Wait. The only women I know that hate men are lesbians, and I don't know of any men who hate women. They may not get along with them a whole lot, but I don't know any men who hate women.
Seemingly has their reasons to do so. But I'm telling you right now, a world where you hate us and we hate you and we just keep going around and around in this circle is not good for anybody. So,
well, he did make one valid point. A world where men hate women and women hate men and we all hate each other, whether men, women, Democrats, Republicans, or other, is not a good place. That is a valid point. Absolutely. I will give credit to the guy for bringing up one valid point.
you can be like, fuck men, we're decentering men, we don't need men, and the men can say fuck women, they're emotional and irrational. But at the end of the day, the people who subscribe to those two schools of thought end up radicalized and miserable and alone.
That's absolutely true. Nose ring theory is not a theory, it's a fact.
I won't tell you how to feel, but I will tell you that feeling that way and living that way and saying this and repeating this and doing this on the internet, finding the confirmation bias you're looking for so that you live in an echo chamber of hate like this, whether you're a man or a woman, it ain't good for society and it is horrible for you personally.
Agreed. It's horrible for you personally and it's not good for society. That is the exact thing that has gotten us where we're at right now, where people are intentionally putting themselves between law enforcement and child rapists because, oh my God, someone told me that you're deporting American citizens. That's horrible. You shouldn't do that. And I want to point out, it's always someone told me. If you ask them where they found out that this was happening, how did you find out that this was going on? Someone told me. Who told you? Well, it's all over the news. Stop watching the fucking news. The legacy media has been lying to you the entire time. Hell, they've been lying to you your entire life. I don't care how old you are. Have you ever looked back at newspaper articles from the 20s and 30s when people like Hearst were running their newspaper empires? And, their opinion op-eds on things like communism. Yeah, these people have been lying. The media lies. It's as simple as that. The media lies. I don't care who they are lying about something. It's up to you And we're all old enough to remember when the nightly news would tell you, here are the facts. Here is what happened. And then allow you, because they knew you were an intelligent thinking being, they would allow you to come to your own conclusions. Well, now we're too stupid to do that. They've got to give us our opinions. And unfortunately, a certain group of people who tend to be on the political left and a few on the political right are proving them right. They're too stupid to come to their own conclusions. They need to be told. And so they are being told. By one media outlet or another, they are being told, here's what to say, here's what to think, here's what you need to know, and here's what you need to think, and here's what you need to say. Anyway, so I happened to, because this is all over, this crap is all over the place on X today, I happened to find the perfect response. And that response is, liberal men nationwide suffer vaginal irritation after seeing FBI director celebrate America's Olympic win. And that, my friends, is exactly how I feel about it. Oh, let me move myself out of the way. I didn't realize my camera is in the way. There we go. Liberal men nationwide suffer vaginal irritation after seeing FBI director celebrate America's Olympic win. It just doesn't get any better than that. Anyway, that's all I've got for you today. If you liked what I have, be sure and press the like button. If you didn't like what I have, be sure to press the dislike button. If you really like what I have, if you want to help make this a bigger channel, subscribe. And I realized this morning I forgot to put yesterday's episode into chapters. I'm going to do that I'm going to try and do that from this point forward, so that you don't have to sit through the entire video if you only have one thing you want to look at, because your time is valuable and I understand that. Anyway, hopefully you have a great day. Until tomorrow, have a great day.